All right, everybody. This is Stamati. I am going to kind of explain a little bit more about what's here on your assignment and give you a brief example of what like a first draft of your essay may look like. So if you read this graphic, you'll see that there's some basic ideas about what an essay should be. If you look at requirements for an essay, number one, it says an essay should not exceed 1 to 2 pages. That's true. Also, it should be at least 5 paragraphs long. Now, don't let that worry you, okay? It's all can be done like a step-by-step process, okay? And let's just dive into it. I'll give you my example. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. I'm going to look at my topic selection. I'm going to take a second and just pick one that I want to write about. Okay, I'm going to pick the topic, describe something you're passionate about. How do you learn more about it, and what makes it so appealing? This is going to be easy for me because I'm passionate about this thing, as maybe you'll see here in a second. So, all right, so I'm thinking, what is this thing I'm going to write about? I'm going to write about rock climbing. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw some words on this page, and these will be some guiding topics for my essay. So I don't need to come out right out of the gate writing like a fully formed paragraph. I can just put some ideas down. So I could say rock climbing. Okay, what are some keywords with rock climbing? Okay, one that comes to mind is falling. All right. Then there's a challenge. All right. There's nature, friends, and actually, if I just stop there, I see that I have 3 or 4 topics for my body paragraphs. So my essay is going to look like an introductory paragraph, 3 body paragraphs, and then a conclusion. So this is actually enough words for me right now, and I'm going to stick with challenge, nature, and friends because those are nice big topics that I know that I can, expand upon and elaborate upon. So then I will think about, okay, what's a first draft version of an introductory sentence? So it's asking about something I'm passionate about, so maybe I just kind of restate it for now. So um, I could say, my passion in life is for rock climbing. All right, there you go. Simple, to the point. It's a good first draft sentence, right? So my passion for life is rock climbing. Let me bring those words that I chose earlier into it. You can say rock climbing provides me with the chance to challenge myself in nature and to connect with like-minded friends. All right. So there you go. I wouldn't stop there as far as the paragraph goes, so I'm going to expand a little bit more without going into too much detail. So I might think, what is something that I want the reader to know about these 3 things without giving little minute details about any of them? Okay, so I might say that, like, how is this passion different than other things in my life, right? Like, it is different because I'm passionate about it. So how is it different? I could say that, like, when I go climbing, I have the chance to step outside of my normal life and into a world of risk, excitement, celebration, and peace in nature. All right, there you go. That's fine, right? So I think that's a pretty nice sentence. And then I can sum up like, why does that make me passionate about it? I could say something like, all of these aspects and more have made climbing something okay. So that sentence it felt a little clunky to me. I was having a hard time like thinking through that one, but I like the idea that's there. So in another draft, I'll come back to that and work on it. But I'm noting it now that that's something that like I need to change, right? So that is a fine introductory paragraph. That's not so bad, right? Like when you're thinking about an essay, it may seem overwhelming at first, but really like that is a paragraph. Okay. So then I've got my intro. It'll work for now. I'm going to move on and talk about like that first subject, challenge. Okay. So I can say the challenge. Okay, so I went to write mind and body. I wrote mind and boy. I saw that and then I fixed it. So something that I encourage you all to do is as you're writing your essay, like just be present with it and then kind of like be noticing if there's anything off, as you're typing, like obvious spelling things like that. Or, you may be able to catch them before you move on to the second draft. Oh, and something else I forgot for readability's sake, I'm gonna just put a space in between these two paragraphs. That's one way to delineate paragraphs. The other way would be to keep the space, but then like indent both. So there you go. So I can talk about like my past with rock climbing. So, oh, I am so sorry about all this. So when I first began climbing, every mountain and rock face seemed larger than life. Right? Ooh, I don't really like that word as I progress through subsequent. That's just, nah. Okay, so there we go. That is definitely a good body paragraph. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences. I feel like they're pretty strong for now, and then I can move on to my next paragraph, which I'm not going to write here because this video is already getting a little long. But this is what your process is going to look like basically. Okay, so you're going to do like a word dump. You're going to write your topic, words that come to mind. Okay, and as you're putting this together, try to kind of follow what I've done here, which is I'm talking through the process of my writing. I'm talking as I write, but I'm also like asking questions of myself the whole time. Like, what do I want to say? How do I want to say it? Is this getting my idea across? Is this relatable? Would people who have no knowledge of this subject be able to understand what I'm talking about? And when you can kind of talk through your thoughts, I think that you'll find the writing process to be far easier than if you can't. Now, if you pick a subject and you're sitting there and you're feeling stumped and you have no idea how to talk about this to yourself, well, maybe pick a different subject, all right? So your writing can be a expression of who you are. It can include your voice. And when we talk about the whole grammar and mechanics piece, the point of that is to be able to manipulate your language to best express those thoughts. All right, so this is about empowering you to tell your own story. All right, so I hope this was a helpful example. If you have any questions about this video or about any of the instructions in the slideshow, or any other questions that you might think of, do not hesitate to contact me or whoever your ELA instructor is after I am gone. Thanks a lot, folks, and I'll talk to you later.